All right, yesterday clearly is not the result we wanted. We've got to continue to work this week, try to get the desired result at the end of the week. We've got to take it to to the game on Sunday, and then once we do that, we'll start seeing those results. Offensively, I thought we were good on third down. We were able to run the ball effectively. We started fast in the passing game. Got down close to the red zone and threw an interception. We can't have the turnover. And hit a lull there in the passing game, but then we were able to run the ball. Defensively, we weren't able to stop the run. We have to do a better job of shedding blocks and getting off and making tackles. Special teams-wise, I thought we did a good job covering kicks. Their average starting field position was the 18-yard line, which was exceptional. But ours in the return game on the kickoff returns were the 21-yard line, which is we need to get better at. Any questions?
Really disappointed about a lot of things. What was the biggest problem defensively yesterday?
Not fitting our gaps and shedding blocks. I thought they did a good job of putting our eyes in the wrong place, and we didn't do a good enough job. Once we were in situations to make the play, we didn't make any plays.
How do you fix that before you get to Ravens and Lamar?
Well, we don't have much time to fix it, so we got to get started on it. We got started on it today, making corrections on the tape, getting our guys' eyes in the right place, and then when you've got a one-on-one matchup, you got to beat your defender.
Were those the one mistakes that you talked about similar to what the Bengals did to you? Because it looked, from my end, it looked similar to the holes that.
Well, listen, the game of football is about one-on-one matchups and winning those one-on-one matchups. So we have to do a better job defensively of beating the guy that's in front of us. So yes, in that sense, usually you can attest it to that, winning a one-on-one matchup.
Early in the game, when it's just starting, it was close for a while there early. But just to use an example of how momentum might help, and doesn't if you don't make a play, like Odell Beckham. The ball was right in his hand, deep down the left sideline on the left side, and it went through his hands. When you don't make a play like that and get the ball at the 10, and the game instead unfolds the way it does, what happens when you fail to make and execute on plays like that?
Well, listen, every football game is about ebb and flows throughout the game. You've got a lot of times on the road, you've got to weather the storm. The home team usually starts fast. We've done a good job of starting fast, whether we've been on the road or at home. We were in the same situation. We started fast. I think Baker was 5 out of 6 on the first drive, and then we had the unfortunate interception. But, our playmakers are going to make plays, and when they don't, I'm sure they're the first to tell you they wish they had them. And that's one he wished he had back, but hell, I wished I had a couple calls back. So everybody could do a better job of doing their job on a consistent basis, every play. You're not going to make every play, so he'll make the next one. I have total confidence that he'll make the next one.
Freddie, 14 games in now. Can you pinpoint why the offense isn't where I'm sure you thought it would be at this point in the season?
Well, there's probably a lot of different answers for that, but I know this. I know we've got a chance this week to get better this week, and that's what we're going to be focused on. Every year is different. I know numbers aren't the same and all that. Every year is different. Every situation is different. Every road game is different. Every home game is different. So you can't just pinpoint it on one thing. It's a bunch of little things, and we're working to clear those things up and continue to get better. There's a lot we can still gain a lot these last 2 weeks, and it starts by this first week. We've got a big game this week, and we got to get ready to play.
How much different is the play calling this year compared to the last 8 games of last year when things were working?
Well, I think it's like I said, every year is different. Every game is different. We've got most of the people that touch the ball is Kareem, Nick, Jarvis, or Odell. So we've got 4 guys that have the ability to make plays, and so of course you can't just center on one person. Everything is involved in this, like protection, route running, making throws, hitting holes, all those sort of things. So when you have things that break down from time to time, then you're not as efficient. But again, I think we were almost 65% on third down yesterday, so that's good, and still had the opportunity to be better than that. So we need to work on those opportunities to get better in those situations. We only punted twice. So, if we can eliminate those 2 punts, I'd be happier. So there's always things to work on to continue to get better. Every year is different. Play calling changes from game to game, series to series, on what we're trying to get done.
Yeah, but still, I'm asking, is it like radically different than it was when you were calling in the last 8 games last year? That's my only question.
I'd have to go back and I really don't know. Is the play calling different? Yeah, the play calling is different because the situations change. So I don't know how in depth you want to get, but what I call on 2nd and 10 last year and the 14th game, I don't know. I'd have to go back and check.
Third down in the second half yesterday where Mayfield threw to Landry on the sideline and almost got intercepted. On the TV, and I'm going off the TV, so it's limited, but it looked like Beckham broke free on that. Could he have thrown to Beckham on that play?
Yeah, he could throw to any of them, but that was a bad play call. That was my fault.
What do you say? It was bad?
We didn't execute it. We didn't do it right. It was a bad call, bad situation.
Would you have liked to have seen him look to the guy who broke free, or is that
No,
just
I'd like for me to make a better call.
Hey, Freddie, a lot was made yesterday of your comment about that you don't care about your future, and I'm sure that's not exactly what you meant. But what I wanted to ask was, are you confident that you're going to be able to see this through? I mean, with all that's transpired this year, do you hope that you get a chance to come back again and do it?
Let me clarify, since I care about my job, all right? I only care, though, about getting better today. That's what I was trying to illustrate, is I'm only focused on today, on getting this football team to play the best of their ability today and to increase those chances of us getting to that point on Sunday of playing the best that we can on Sunday. Everybody here is focused on that, all right? Dee and Jimmy Haslam and John Dorsey would much rather me be worried about getting our team to play better than worried about my job security. The only thing I was trying to illustrate is the fact that I'm only concerned about what we're doing as a football team today, all right? And that's it. Of course I want to be back. Yeah. Listen, we can make it all bad all we want, but we've done some good things this year. We've got the leading rusher in the league, all right? We've got 2 receivers over, I don't even know where they rank now, but nobody's got a 1,000-yard rusher, a 1,000-yard receiver, and another receiver almost 900 yards. So defensively, we were, up until yesterday, we were second in the league in third downs, getting off the field. We were ranked pretty high in the red zone, making guys kick field goals. So we just need to execute better when we get to the critical moments in a game. So there's a lot of good here. It's just we get so swept up in the negative that we can't see the positives. And that's what we need to continue to try to focus on in our building. And that's the main reason you try to block out the noise and just concentrate on getting better. And that's what I want to do as a coach, and that's what I want my players to do as players. And I think they've done a good job of that during the course of the year.
All those numbers you present are accurate and they're fair, but it does kind of bring back the same question about why it's still such a struggle to bring it together.
Well, it's critical moments in the game. Everybody in this room, I know, we've got football-savvy people in this room, so there's always a moment in the game that you have to make the play to win the game, or you don't make the play and you lose the game. So it's in those critical moments we've got to do a better job of making the right call or executing better. And I think that's what it comes down to.
Is that something you have to learn, a mental toughness thing? Is that something you have to experience? What is the reason?
Listen, every year is different, like I've said. But we've got a young core of a team here. So everything we're doing is for the first time. I mean, in a sense, every time we've went on the road, it's been something different. So we've got to adjust and make exceptions for that and do a better job of preparing them, do a better job of playing when we get to the game and executing. You know, those are all experiences, and you gain experience by going through the fire and doing it. And I think we've got a lot of guys that are gaining valuable experience of doing that, and it's going to serve us well moving forward.
When you have a guy like Travis Landry that wears his emotions on his sleeve and he's such a passionate player, does that just come with the territory that there are going to be moments where he's going to, you know, get into it a little bit with Ryan Lindley like we saw and what you did? I mean, is this just part of who he is?
I wouldn't change Jarvis for anything. Jarvis plays the game with passion, which I love. He's tough. He's physical. He wants to win. And when you want to win as badly as Jarvis does, sometimes your emotion gets the best of you. But I don't have a problem with Jarvis. He's one of he's one of my favorites, the way he plays the game, him as a person, everything.
Does that mean something that when he and Odell say after the game that they're sticking up for you and they're behind you and defending you?
Hey, listen, like I said, you know, I like the guys I coach. I like the guys our coaches coach on a daily basis. I like the energy and the passion our guys play with. In our room, in our building, we're in it together. And these guys will continue to play together. All right. We built that through being through the fire together. All right. So it doesn't surprise me. No. But understand where that comes from. That comes from work together, going through the fires together. We're going to stay together these last 2 weeks. I don't care what happens. These guys will stay together. They've demonstrated that. Now we just have to perform better.
When you talk like you say these things, but then there will come a time in 2 weeks when you have to decide, okay, what do we do to get better? Now I know you always want to get better at every position, but the question is, how do you avoid overreacting to changes that might have to be made?
Well, again, that's down the road. We've got to get ready for a big football game, divisional football game this week, and our energy can't be focused on 2 weeks. Sorry, can't answer that question for you, Jeff, but I'm in it today, trying to get them better today. That's it, and that's where our guys' focus is, and I'm pretty sure that's where John Dorsey's focus is just getting better today, you know.
Mayfield stand right now? So going into a stretch when he's the organization that drafted him #1 overall will expect him to function like a #1 overall pick and cause victories like some of the great ones, like Rodgers, Brady's, whatever. But where is he now? And can he get to that place where he's one of the quarterbacks who really does, winning follows him around?
He definitely can get that place, and he will get to that place. Baker's a young guy. He's learning too. He's not a finished product. I've said that before. He works his tail off every day to try to get better, and that's where I want his focus, and that's where his focus is. Let everybody else do the judging. We'll continue to work as a group to get better, and Baker falls into that mindset.
On him compared to the new age quarterbacks like Murray had a nice game within his #1 overall skill set yesterday. The guy you'll see this week is obviously overperforming as a late first-round pick, but he's not that mobile. Does he have something within himself that will enable him to function as well as the guys who have different skill sets and are winning big with those skill sets?
Yeah, but we were having a different conversation last year. So Baker needs to play better. The guys around him need to play better. He understands that. We know who we drafted, and I'm happy as hell that we drafted him. He's going to be our quarterback for a long time, and he needs to continue to get better, just like we all do. I need to get better at calling plays. I need to get better at a lot of things. So does our right tackle and our left guard and our safety and our corner. Everybody needs to get better. So Baker's not a finished product. He understands that. But that's the guy we drafted, and that's the guy we believe in, and that's the guy that the locker room believes in, and this organization believes in. So, you know, I'm not worried about Baker. He's going to continue to get better. Every year is different. Don't just judge stats to stats.
Hey, Freddie, for 14 years, it seems like you've been saying the same thing about, I need to call better plays, we need to play better, we need to execute. At what point do actions speak louder than words?
That's always, I don't know if you figured this out, but that's always going to be my response when we don't execute. All right? If we don't win the game, I need to call better plays. If we don't win the game, we need to execute better. It's all about the result. That's the only thing I'm looking for is the result. So I don't know how to answer that question. My answer to that question is never going to change.
Bill, the defense was to the, uninitiated, it looks like there were times when they sort of quit. Did you see any of that at all?
No, I think those guys kept fighting. I don't think there's any quit in anybody out there. I don't know how you distinguish that, but I know those guys fought to the very end.
As far as your defense is concerned, has it reached the point in the season where it's kind of such a strain on them that to have lost so many guys, being out without Olivier, without Miles, without Morgan?
Well, listen, we're never going to make excuses, but, we did have two pretty good ends, and we had two safeties that were playing pretty good. That's never going to be an excuse. We need to keep playing better around them, around the guys that are substituting in. I thought they played hard. We just need to execute better defensively. We need to shed blocks better, We just need to do our jobs better.
And that game was almost sort of demoralizing for them. I mean, are you going to have to pick them kind of their chins back up off the floor this week a little bit?
Yeah, I think so. I think that's part of my job, and I think that's also falls in the realm of what they need to do for each other. We need to continue to play for each other, and I don't have any doubt that we will do that. And that's kind of our job at this point.
You black out the negative, but do you understand the disappointment that people around town are feeling? You get it. I assume you do.
I always want them to be disappointed if we don't get the desired results. I'm disappointed. Our locker room's disappointed, but we also know that we have to move on to the next week. So.